High above Southeast Asia, a massive shift in air power is happening right now. Indonesia just locked in a game-changer by acquiring the Dassault Rafale for France. It's a 4.5-generation omnirole fighter that completely rewrites the script for the archipelago's air defense. But just across the border, Singapore has been flying the F-15SG Strike Eagle for years. This is the absolute most advanced version of the American F-15 family, custom-built to rule the skies and smash targets deep behind enemy lines. So, when you put these two giants head-to-head, we need a deep dive to see who really holds the edge in tech and sheer firepower. Let's tear right into the basic architecture and the mechanical hearts of these jets. The Rafale is built around this omnirole philosophy. That means it can pull off everything: air superiority, ground strikes, anti-ship missions, and even recon, all in a single flight. Pushed by twin Snecma M88 turbofans, it's not really out to break any top speed records, but man, those engines give it some crazy tactical acceleration. Throw in that delta wing design and those twin canards up front, and you get a jet with insane agility, whether it's crawling at low speeds or pulling extreme Gs. On the other hand, the F-15SG is bred from the DNA of a true heavyweight brawler. Packing two General Electric F-110 engines with massive thrust, this thing is an absolute monster in the sky that runs on raw speed and brute force. Its massive frame means it can carry a ridiculous amount of fuel, especially with those conformal fuel tanks seamlessly hugging the fuselage. Look, if the Rafale is a lightning-fast, lethal martial artist, the Strike Eagle is a heavyweight boxer. It relies on stamina and pure knockout power to run the ring. So, if we're calling a winner for round one, it goes to the F-15SG. Raw thrust, top speed, and a massive combat radius, the Eagle dominates here. That's 1-0 for the F-15SG. Now, stepping into avionics and sensors, this fight gets super close because their designs are totally different. The Rafale rocks the RBE-2 AAESA radar. This thing is incredibly advanced. It can track dozens of low-flying targets at once and map the ground in real time if you're flying low through a valley. But the Rafale's real party piece is its electronic warfare system called SPECTRA. It's basically an intelligent electromagnetic force field around the jet. It automatically spots enemy signals, figures out what they are, and instantly shoots back decoy waves to scramble the enemy's radar. It practically gives the Rafale stealth-level survivability, making its digital footprint super confusing to lock onto. Over in Singapore's corner, the F-15 counters with pure, raw transmitting power. That massive nose fits the APG-63 EASA radar, which has way more transmitter modules than the Rafale. And in the world of radar physics, a bigger antenna simply means you see further. On paper, the F-15SG can lock onto the Rafale before the Rafale even knows it's there. But that range advantage is going to crash right into the Rafale's high-end SPECTRA jamming. Plus, the F-15 carries the Sniper Advanced Targeting Pod. That makes it a deadly platform that can see for miles and drop precision bombs from tens of thousands of feet up. So, if I have to pick a winner for the electronic warfare round, it's the Rafale. Being able to hide your signature and blind the enemy completely zeroes out that big radar advantage. Point to the Rafale. We are tied at 1-1. Moving over to strike power and weapon payload, this is where you really see how differently these two countries operate. The F-15SG is an absolute combat truck. It can haul over 10 tons of weapons. Underneath, Singapore can strap on a devastating mix: AIM-120C AMRAAMs for long-range kills, AIM-9X Sidewinders tied right to the pilot's helmet for close dogfights, and a bunch of heavy-hitting JDAM smart bombs. This jet is built to punch through enemy airspace in big formations, wipe out ground command centers, and head home. It is pure, brutal tonnage. Meanwhile, the Rafale carries a bit less, maxing out around 9.5 tons across 14 hardpoints. It might carry fewer weapons than the Strike Eagle, but the quality of what it brings to the fight completely changes the game. Indonesia's ultimate trump card here is its flagship long-range air-to-air missile, the Meteor.
Unlike the American AMRAAM that uses a standard solid rocket, the Meteor uses a ramjet. That means it saves its energy and actually accelerates during the final stretch to the target. It creates a no-escape zone that is 3 times bigger than anything else in its class. At a 100-kilometer range, the Meteor is significantly more lethal. And for surface strikes, pairing Indonesia's Rafale with the Storm Shadow stealth cruise missile is a total nightmare for the enemy. It can wipe out high-value strategic targets from over 250 kilometers away, meaning the Rafale doesn't even need to fly into heavy layered air defenses. Throw in the legendary Exocet anti-ship missile, and the Rafale becomes an apex maritime predator guarding the ocean. So, if these two war machines ever locked horns in a real dogfight, it all comes down to distance. In a beyond visual range fight, the F-15's massive radar gives it the first shot opportunity. But if the Rafale SPECTRA successfully jams that threat and forces a close-range dogfight, air superiority instantly flips. The Rafale's Delta Canard aerodynamics let it pull insanely tight turns, climb aggressively, and slip right into the F-15's blind spot before the pilot can even flinch. It's super tough to call, but in a strict 1v1 fight, the Rafale definitely has the edge. Point 2 goes to the Rafale. We are tied at 1-all. At the end of the day, a fighter jet is only as good as how well it fits its country's strategy. Singapore has a really small geographic footprint, so they use a proactive, preemptive strike doctrine. They need to crush threats way before they ever cross the border. With its crazy range, long loiter time, and massive bomb payload, the F-15SG is the absolute perfect tool for that offensive job. On the flip side, Indonesia spans across a massive area between 2 oceans, demanding a completely different set of criteria. They need a true omnirole jet, something agile, reactive, and capable of taking off from short emergency runways. The Rafale can launch to intercept an unauthorized aircraft and in the exact same minute switch up its weapon systems to sink a hostile warship. When you look at close-range agility, top-tier electronic warfare, and missile dominance past 100 kilometers, the Rafale is a highly adaptable, slippery precision spear. But if we're talking about massive ground devastation and raw radar detection range, the F-15SG is an aerial juggernaut in the ASEAN region that is incredibly tough to take down. Both of these aerospace masterpieces carry a clear mandate. The Rafale acts as an unpredictable stealth shield to protect the archipelago's skies and waters, while the F-15SG makes sure Singapore always has the heaviest, most unforgiving artillery punch ready to go. So, if you were chosen to lead either of these countries, which jet would you pick? Let me know down in the comments.